Hey everyone, this is Stevie Richards and welcome to the 12-week resistance band training program. Today is day number 3. We're working our arms, we're working biceps, and we're working triceps. So after day 1 of chest, day 2 of back, your biceps and triceps might be a little bit worn out. They might be a little bit sore because they're indirectly worked with each of those body parts in day 1 and 2. So be careful, modify when you need to. The resistance band is very scalable. So what we want to do here is be safe. We want to use isometrics and of course wear a heart rate monitor whenever you need to. On the tricep part of it, there's going to be push down, so you'll be using the door for that. But for most of the stuff, you'll just be standing here and using the bands with your feet separated for more resistance, or your feet closer together, or even using one foot for less resistance. So let's get started. Hopefully the action cam will work. It's been a little buggy, but that's part of my tech world where things always go wrong. So we're going to start with biceps. We're not going to talk about my technology or my technical difficulties. So we're going to do biceps first. We're going to do curls. And what you want to do here is stand with your feet. I start about hip distance apart, but you can widen your feet out if you'd like, or bring them in, or use one like I said before. You're going to know after the first couple reps. So let's do a couple test reps here. Squeeze up. Stretch, got a crack, squeeze, stretch. Now, thing to note too, when you're standing there, you're not locked out and leaned over. You have your knees slightly bent, you're flexing your legs, you're sticking your core in, basically flexing the entire body and keeping it in line, making sure you're not putting pressure on your joints anywhere, not just the arms, but your whole body. So I'm gonna go a little wider here, and elbows are gonna be on your side. Well, you don't want to see, if you're looking in the mirror, you don't want to see really any space between your body and your arm. You don't want to be way out here. You want it right in here. And the bands are great because you can really, they're not like dumbbells where you have to make sure that you're not going to hit yourself with them. The bands have a pretty good positioning right there. So here we go. Squeeze, stretch. Now, like I said before, you're squeezing from the bottom. You're not squeezing here. You're squeezing all the way. Inhale. Squeeze. Good. Good. Okay, now once again, switching the grips. So pay attention. Like I said, watch this video a few times before you actually do the workout to make sure that you're in line, or you're not really trying to guess what's next. So watch it. You'll anticipate the exercises a lot better, and you won't have to move out of this and back into it. So what we're going to do is grab underneath the handle with a neutral grip. These are called hammer curls. Now this is quite a bit more resistance, so I'm going to step my feet in. Once again, I'm going to make sure my quads and my glutes are flexed, my knees are slightly bent, and right here, all you're going to do is squeeze up. Your wrist doesn't move, so you're not doing this. It stays neutral, and you curl up with your bicep. You're going to feel a little difference there. Squeeze, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze, stretch. Let's get the breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and bring it down. Now, like I said, I'm using isometrics. I can feel that from the first set, so please rest when you need to. You have the rest in the PDF, the amount of rest you're going to need. But as you go up into phase 2 and phase 3 of the workout, the reps get more, the volume goes up, the rest time goes down. So please be careful. Use the standard rest time in phase 1 or phase 2, the previous phase that you're at. So say you're in phase 3, and I'm trying to actually rest. See, I'm being smart. Phase 3, if it's too much, go back to the rest period in phase 2 or even phase 1. You can scale this workout. That 12 weeks can extend to a lot more if you do what you're supposed to. And also, like I said, you can always contact me if you need to. All right, see, I gave myself a rest there. So now we're going to do reverse curls. These are a little tough on the forearms, so please be careful. You might need to come in or use one foot down. But what you're going to do is inhale, and you can see my palms are towards me. So we went from here, palms out, neutral grip here, and then just turn to here. Inhale. Squeeze. You're going to feel it a lot more in your forearms. Inhale. Becomes a little tough to get my elbows in, so I'm going to really squeeze them in there. Let's get a side shot. Come down. Now sometimes, and I'm going to cover this on a lot of Facebook Live workouts that I'm going to do covering instruction and Q&A. What I like to do with that, here it felt like too much on my elbow. So I started to bring it in a little bit, but I had to squeeze the elbow in, and there was less pressure on this elbow problem I've been having for about 12 years. So if you have problems like that, just adjust your arm where it's going to go, or just send me a message or comment on the Facebook post, and I'll let you know what works for me, and we can try to eliminate or at least reduce the pain as much as possible. Okay, so now what we're going to do is a concentration curl, and there's two different ways to do this. So we're going to do it in a lunge position, which is the most challenging version of that. We're going to do it on the first side in the challenging position. Then we're going to take a chair and do it in the modified position. So if you have a chair, a bench, or anything like that that's stable that you can sit on, that's the other way to do the concentration curl. So what I'm going to do is lunge here, out with my left, put it down, and once again, you can scale this to where the amount of band is here. So if I need more resistance, I'll just put it closer to my foot where the handle is. If I need less, I bring it out there. So right here is good. Lunge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this little trick I do with the dumbbells too. I bring this fist behind my tricep, so when I squeeze up, it's like a preacher curl. Except it's free, you don't have to pay for the bench. So inhale. And I'm really flexing this left arm and pushing against the tricep and giving it extra resistance there. And it's not easy. So I'm in a lunge, working my core, working my balance, and also curling. Inhale. Bring it down. Now to safely get out of this, all I do, hands here on the knee, and just step up carefully. So now let's go to the modified version. I'm going to sit here on this chair, which is actually not stable. I got to get a plyo box. I have to invest in that. So this makes it a little bit easier, because now I'm going to do is just kind of give yourself a 45-degree angle here. And what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to bring that elbow in right here, and it's with my forearm on the thigh. So you're flexing your thighs, flexing your entire body, and squeezing up. Now you're going to feel like the arm wants to fight back. This right hand in the back of the tricep, not on the elbow, squeeze up. See all that? I actually like that a lot. The chair makes it easier because I can just concentrate on the arm without worrying about the lunge. Getting a good pump. There. That's almost, it's funny because that's almost more challenging in a lot of ways, because you don't have to rely on your legs or anything. You really get a good concentration. That's why they call it a concentration curl. So that's excellent. I actually prefer that one over the lunge personally. But if you have any questions, there's certain footing. Like I said, a 45-degree angle out like this is usually the way to go. And then obviously length or distance from the handle, further away is less resistance, closer is a lot more. So you may not even need to get that close when you're bringing that hand behind the tricep and counterbalancing the preacher curl. So it's pretty cool. I like it. So next up is triceps, and just like with biceps, we have 3 different grips here, and you can see this is over the chin-up bar here. Once again, just like the lat pull-downs in day 2 for your back, you're going to put it in the top of the door closed towards you, sign on the outside to let people know you're working out. Once again, you don't want that kind of surprise to be brought into your life. And the grips are going to be just like the curls, except the opposite direction, flexing, using isometrics on the triceps. So once again, we're squeezing the entire length of the motion. We don't want to put pressure on our elbows. We don't come down and lock the elbow out. We want to squeeze and just feel that in the tricep. So right here, grip. We have this overhead camera. It's probably not working by now, but I'm going to stand out here. Now, once again, there's not a whole lot of resistance here. I can loop it around again, or I can stand back. So, but I'm going to use isometrics to make up for it. So inhale. squeeze. Now, once again, keep your elbows into your side, like that. Don't you let any space. So I have a mirror in front of me, I'll be able to see this. Inhale, squeeze, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze, stretch, and right back up there. So we're gonna right into the neutral grip. So you're gonna do the amount of sets on this, on any of the stuff, and then go to this. We're not doing a circuit in this instance, but you could do that as you move on and progress with the workout program. So we're gonna do neutral grip just like that. And this makes it a little easier because there's a little stopper right there. Grip right here, inhale, squeeze. I think you noticed my elbows go back. That's how I lock it in more because our elbows tend to want to go forward. Inhale, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze, and come up. Good. Now we're going to go into the reverse ones. Be careful with your elbows. They tend to lock out a little easier on this grip where your palms are facing towards you and then you come down and you're facing away. So they tend to always want to go out like this. You really want to keep your elbows into your side and squeeze. So let's do that. And come on. Now, one of those reps, I locked my elbows out. Even though there was not a lot of weight, it was all isometric, I felt that little piece of my elbow have a little chip in there. So I felt it because I took all the resistance off of here and a little bit went on here, and I felt the difference, and so will you. So you gotta flex those muscles. You gotta squeeze your muscles throughout the entire movement, even on the stretch, on the negative, or what they call the eccentric movement. You have to flex it throughout the whole movement. And trust me, you can see I'm a little winded from it, but it works. This is the stuff you need to do. You need to focus, concentrate, and use it. You use the resistance band. It's not like throwing a weight around, and we're not lifting weights. We're training muscles. That's why this can be a very, very efficient workout. All right, next we're gonna do overhead tricep extensions. We're not gonna change the grips on this. It's tough enough as it is. And once again, standing position, what you wanna do is your feet, I doubt anybody's feet is gonna be wider than hip distance on this. So I may even go with one. Come up here and you can see already right here, it's very difficult to keep your elbows from flaring out, but you have to do it. Now, a modification or an easier way to do this is the neutral grip. And actually a lot of people, that's what they do. And that's the way you would hold the dumbbells. Neutral grip, the dumbbells are like this. So let's do that. Neutral grip here. And inhale, exhale, squeeze up. Now I'm gonna bring this foot forward to get it out of the way. It's your choice. Some people like that foot behind. I like the whole band behind me here. So like this. Squeeze, stretch. Elbows are flaring out, push them in. And bring it down here. Now most people come around here from here, squeeze up, come around the top, hit the action camera, break that thing, buy a new one, and you're safely out of it.